Good night.
Peace to Gaza.
Stay
Peace to
safe,
Cuba.
y'all.
Yeah. Peace to Venezuela. Peace to Nicaragua and everybody else that's fucking fighting against this imperialist fucking country, man.
Haiti.
Y'all come back now, here.
Shout them all out.
Well, gotta go for it. Hit him.
Have a great night.
Yeah.
All right. So we end the recording here. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Damien from GNG and ATP. I got the GNG crew here, the Gardens and Guillotines crew. So who's up to introduce themselves?
I'm Vlad at Vlad_GNG. That's pretty much all I have to introduce myself.
I'm Pale, the Pale Horse 2 on Twitter. I'm also a member of the GNG network.
And I'm going to fill in the awkward silence. I'm at MothTongue_ on Twitter, also part of the Gardens and Guillotines crew. And this is the rest of our crew.
That's right. My name's Ali. Well, it's not my real name, but that's what you're gonna get. I'm Ali. Pretty much anywhere you find me. Yeah. GNG stand
Space
up.
God.
Use the space God.
And remember, in that G&G, what do we always choose, fellas?
Violence.
Violence. Oh, we got Adrian. Adrian.
So, and just so you guys know that we're not good at this.
Yeah.
We suck at this.
This is our first official podcast. So
yeah. So just bear with us. Like that intro. Oof.
Stop apologizing.
I'm not really apologizing. I'm just trying to make Damien feel bad on his first show.
Hey, I ain't fucking sorry, bro. There's gonna be other people popping in too. I needed nicotine, motherfuckers.
This guy, he didn't even introduce himself.
Yeah, Adrian, you gotta introduce yourself.
I'm the illest. Motherfuckers. What?
With your sippy cup.
This guy that you never heard of.
All right, Mom.
Hey, some of the best out there you ain't never heard of. What? I'm Adrian. And I enjoy all of these people. I enjoy talking to them, and we're gonna talk about goofy shit, but we're also gonna talk about real shit. You know, fucking, and we can be goofy talking about real shit. You know, go ahead. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so we're gonna get into the meat. This is a roundtable discussion, also a crossfire. So you know what I'm saying. Chime in whenever they got something to say. If you want to talk, you know what I mean. Be as real as possible. This is for the people. This is for whoever's watching. You know, so you can give or take whatever you think. Whatever we say. If you can't believe it, research it. You know what I'm saying. We want you to do that. We want you to research it. We want you to know that we're trying to give you our truth from how we see it. So we're gonna start out first with MAGA communism.
My favorite.
In the ACP. And the American Communist Party. So, it's up for grabs. We have a right wing ideology masquerading as communism. I believe we have. I think Jackson Hinkle is a CIA agent that has been put into our movement to derail us into this false fucking equivalence of socialism that is just a sprinkle of white supremacy masked with a red fucking flag. Honestly, that's how I feel about it.
But bro,
that's the only red flag I'll sit there and say is a major red flag.
Do they call themselves MAGA communists? Why are you putting words in their mouth? You need to quit it. You need to quit it now.
And I think that they don't call themselves maggot communists anymore. They call themselves the American Communist Party or the ACP. But essentially, it's rooted in the previous thing that we used to laugh at and ridicule, which was MAGA communism.
Yeah. And I wanted to know is how deep is another grifter, a famous grifter, Haas, into this movement? Do you guys know how deep he is into this?
Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's
the
very
daddy.
deep into this.
He's the daddy.
Wow, like balls deep, you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
It's
Thorne.
funny because their whole ideology is to bring together the working class of America, right? And it's even funnier that they use the term both MAGA and communism because unironically, the only thing MAGAs and communists, sorry, in this country agree upon is that MAGA communism is bullshit. Ain't nobody following.
Facts.
For real. That's facts.
Big facts. And I've heard that Jackson Hinkle was part of the Young Republicans when he was in high school. He was he was flown out every summer to Washington D.C. and there's pictures of him rubbing elbows with Republicans in Washington D.C. Republican senators, also think tanks being a part of. So I kind of feel that he has been put into the movement to derail us. You know what I mean? And it's like, and a lot of, and he's used the Palestinian cause to like propel himself even further. Because now I see Arabs from around the world giving this guy even more fucking like clout as he's professed his so-called his affinity for the Palestinian cause. So what do you guys feel on that subject? Like, what do you guys know about his involvement with government agencies and whatnot?
What if you had like a jumbotron where you just put up that photo, him fucking with surfboarding with fucking Tulsi motherfucking Gabbard. Ain't no communist hanging around Tulsi fucking Gabbard for more than 10 fucking seconds to say fuck you, get out of my face.
Wait, how old is this picture?
This is like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Oh my god!
Like this is recent. This is mad recent. This was when she was going to Africa for Africom shit. Like where she was like balls deep in it.
Wow. And what was she a part of at one point? You said that
She was a reservist for not Hawaii's National Guard. I think Hawaii's National Guard, and then she moved to California's National Guard. But she had fucking security clearances way above fucking regular like guardsmen. Like
yeah.
she was working in a realm that very few get to work in.
Yeah.
And you know, we were fed on or not we, but leftists were fed her as a alternative to Bernie Sanders, an alternative, and it's like, bro, like she's fucking ops. Like that's her fucking job description. Like, don't believe the devil right there. That's right there. But so Jackson Hinkle, if he's not compromised in some kind of way, I'm fucking really a 5 foot tall white lady. So I mean he's deep in it. He's deep in it. Like you don't become 24, 25 years old nowadays talking about communism. I mean, they as far as my memory goes back, the last 21-year-old, they shot in his bed while his pregnant wife was there. They don't let you go up. So
yeah.
What's up with the glow up? The glow up don't make sense to me.
and that's a very good point. That's a very good point. He went from him to blown the fuck up. Like he's like a major pundit now. Like I've seen him on fucking like on a lot of shows these days. You know what I mean?
All right, so
Jimmy
listen to this.
I will
So
tell you
listen
this.
to this.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. When Jackson Hinkle back in 2022, and we were already talking about MAGA communism, because there was a lot of people like in and out like on social media, and I still think that it's like a fringe movement that not a lot of people really know offline, but it is starting to trickle out a little bit. Anyway, point being, when he first started talking about it openly, he had a list. I'm going to read the list to you guys. MAGA communism is for reindustrialization of America, dismantle big tech, end foreign intervention, end globalist imperialism, abolishing CIA, FBI, NSA, drain DOJ swamp, pardon 1/6 protesters, pardon Assange and Snowden, extend free speech to social media, land reform, dismantle big agriculture. Those are just one topic together. Unite with China on BRICS, ban Antifa street terrorism, expand stable, high-yielding energy, oil/nuclear, leave NATO, mass infrastructure program, declare major energy resources as public commodities, banking in hands of people, economic bill of rights, cut military budget, protect Second Amendment, cut foreign aid and democracy promotion, no open borders, dismantle MIC, promote made in America products, nationalize big tech, literacy movement, patriotic education, end woke academia, end subsidization of monopolies, remove red tape, subsidize gyms in every community, lower taxes, deport Bush family, Clinton family, Obama, Pompeo, Bolton to the ICC, destroy the Open Society Foundation, WEF, IMF, World Bank, Gates, Ford, Clinton foundations, dismantle Big Pharma, destroy duopoly DC Uniparty, end debt slavery, imprison opioid fentanyl networks, protect minors from sexualization, dismantle secret societies, CENTCOM and AFRICOM, declare any DU said and NAFO terrorist organizations, arrest George Soros, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Fauci, and all Epstein associates/criminals. It's a pretty fucking hefty list for a couple of fucking douchey golf bros to accomplish. I mean, like even if you agree with like just a couple of the things on there, right?
Yeah.
Right, but like a huge chunk of that is like it's like they don't have the wherewithal to see. Like, you've never heard of a National Socialist Party before? Like, don't you think you could kind of like ring that in a little? Like,
I mean, I think the
especially with
last
some of
time
the
I heard of
policies.
a National Socialist Party, it was the Nazis.
What's wrong with y'all?
Wait, who? The Nazis? No. They were National Socialists. They weren't Nazis. They don't exist. It's National Socialists. Only National Socialists. That's what they're doing.
At the end, you should have put "Save the White Race." You should have put
Come on.
It is 14 with these 14 words.
Yeah. Reindustrialize the U.S. Like, okay, so we need uranium. So what? We uproot more natives to take their land and to put more fucking uranium out on the streets while we put uranium inside their drinking water. Like this what happens when you're trying to do these things. Like, people, like most native people, are living on our natural resources. So when you're talking about things like that, they're not putting into effect the people that this is going to fucking actually affect and harm. You see what I'm saying? So that's why and also when you even bring them with the idea of land back to these types of cats, they fucking go at it like fuck natives. You guys have no say anymore.
Right.
You're like 1% of the population. And it comes from they start getting really racist, and it's not dialectics to what's going on in this country.
I'll give you one better, Damien. I'll give you one better. They say not all of them. Abigail. They say unironically, not all of them, but enough of them say it, that homeless people are the same as landlords. Can you tell me what the fuck that means?
I don't know.
What?
I saw this shit.
What does that mean? Yes,
Wait.
that's what they say. That because they ask for money on the street, they're basically charging you rent for sitting on their square.
That is
What kind of
fucking
many
insane.
people I know you walk over a day who need help? Don't. Yeah.
But that's
tell you,
oh, go ahead. Sorry, you haven't spoken yet.
I will tell you what. Lenin covered this in State and Revolution. First paragraph. All the social chauvinists are now Marxists. Don't laugh.
Greatest line.
It
ever.
literally says don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
Because it is so idiotic to think that dialectics belongs in social populism. That's not what dialectics is about. It's not about social populism. It's about solving problems. It's about putting the situation into a dialectic format and then trying to figure out what the best answer is. Listening to these right-wing individuals who have been so propagandized by United States culture over decades and decades, basically over the last century, since the very beginnings of the Russian Revolution, it has been a nonstop propaganda party to silence any sort of dissent towards a capitalist system. These people have now taken the idea of capitalism and tried to bend it to their will and say that we will control the capitalism. It's basically multi-level marketing for dude bros. Like this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. The American Communist Party to step forward and say things like being a landlord is okay. We want you to be landlords. We need you as individuals who are going to start a chapter. You must be profitable to the main organization. Who the fuck uses words like that?
Yeah.
Who's a Marxist? Who's a communist? Who uses the words profitable?
Yeah.
They're do-gooders.
It's not about profit. It's about helping people. It's about solving issues. It's about solving problems. To call, like Aleem, like you said, to call people who are without a home as bad as a landlord, what the hell is wrong with you? You've got people who are accumulating wealth, owning excess property, and then exploiting the working people to garner their own investment opportunities through housing, which is a whole issue in and of itself with the commodification of living in general. Now you want to compare that to an individual who has nothing. They're the same. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. And that's why I say it's dangerous. Okay? But again,
the tying together, Adrian, you said it best, the tying together of these right-wing ideologies and the socialist platform and trying to fit in dialectics into social populism is the entire issue that leads towards your Nazi platform. That is how they sucked in the German population. It's how they got their attention, and they needed a boogeyman. Now, who are they going to choose as their boogeyman? If they're saying all the borders are closed, who's the biggest boogeyman in the United States right now? What is the media bastardizing and calling monsters? Venezuelan gangs in Colorado taking over an entire apartment block, which we know is a completely bullshit story. The entire thing was made up. It was a total sham. Everybody who was involved in that and the spreading of that information should be ashamed of themselves. This whole ordeal is everything that we should be fighting against at every turn. You see these people, you call them what they are. They're no better than Herbalife people. They're no better than somebody out there trying to sell you like fucking some kind of crappy product, because that's all they're doing. They're not trying to sell you liberation, because you don't sell liberation.
Beautiful.
I'm done.
Beautiful. And that's why, and it's a dangerous ideology, and I've been trying to put that out there as much as possible that this is dangerous, and the more people that they bring over to their side, they're going to be able to sway into their fascist ass fucking ideology. You see what I'm saying? Same thing like what happened in Germany. Like that's why we have to be vigilant and fighting back and exposing these assholes and these grifters for what they are, because this,
Yeah.
we were, fascism is just going to take on different forms. You know what I mean? Like I said, racism never goes away. It just reinvents itself, like what
And
Malcolm X said.
and we have to be clear on why they aren't good. We can't just say, "Oh, they're good." They're not good. Like, we have to be clear that even if you pick up some of the leftist ideology, they're hurting you into something that will kill people, and is continuing to kill people, and is going to get you to look the other fucking way. It's going to get you to go, well, this is, now we're part of the good team. Now we're part of the these are our kids in the cages. We're sorry we put them there. I mean, we're seeing it with the Democratic Party. We see it. We see it right now happening in France. A leftist party wins, and then they immediately give up control of the government to a fascist. Not, and then the liberals say, well, he's okay, and then the fascists say, oh, well, he's a little too liberal for us. He's a fucking commie. And then that just pushes you further and further and further into this pit where you got, hundreds of thousands of children, in the Congo. You got hundreds of thousands of children in Palestine being blown to bits. And then you got hundreds of thousands of children in America who are not fed, who are being poisoned by their water and their air. And like, it's all fucking just right there. And the first thing that ACP tells you is, we're going to reindustrialize. We're going to fucking kill all of these other bad people, and that's it. And then we'll come and we'll take it over, and we'll be better than them. They haven't told you how they're going to be better than them other than fucking reindustrialize. That's what they just told you. We're going to reindustrialize.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. They said that they were going to ban Antifa street gangs.
Oh,
yeah. And close the border. And close the border.
Yeah, and close the border. That's right.
Anyone critical of them, bow, you're out. And I'm not talking about like fucking how everybody complains about communism, where those people were actively destroying crops. Those people were burning down homes because
they still are.
And they still fucking are. We're talking about people who are like, well, stop fucking putting us in prison for saying you fucking suck. That's what we're saying. We're not talking about people who are literally burning crops. Famine? Who started famine? I could, but
damn kulaks.
Like, I'm like, oh, maybe we should stop fucking harvesting fucking cobalt using fucking child slave labor. No, fuck you. We're gonna kill you. We're gonna fucking destroy you. Say, what? Just stop using children for the cobalt. Like, please. But no, stop
harming children. Period.
Exactly. Because right here in America, they have child labor inside of meatpacking factories. We have children disappearing by the thousands on the border. You know what I mean? Like, and this is all happening under Democrats. This is the largest, the largest people, the largest time that they sent migrants back home was during Democrats. This is like, the children are still in cages. Like AOC should still be crying outside that fence. You know what I'm saying?
No shit. You gotta vote for genocide blue or fucking genocide red is gonna make you real fucking uncomfortable. If you have to get uncomfortable, then you have to confront yourself.
But guys, what's the
if you get uncomfortable, and nobody wants to get uncomfortable and have to fucking deal with reality. They just want people to they just want everything to be done for them so they don't have to think or be engaged in the things that matter. So, of course the left is getting pulled to the fucking right because everybody kind of sort of wants fascism because they don't want to fucking care about babies with their heads blown off. They don't want to care about children in their own country that are suffering. They don't want to care about anybody else outside of their own fucking sector. If that, they might not even care about them. So,
it's social supremacy.
Yes. Western chauvinism, as they say. They call it Western chauvinism that, if it's not happening to me, why should I give a fuck? But we're here to tell you, that what's happening in Palestine, the bombs that are falling on Palestine, the IOF that is going into the homes of Palestinians, they are coming here. They are training American police officers here in America. Those over 60 fucking cop cities will be open. They will be here in America. So, everybody that had their ears like this outside the Democratic National Convention as they're reading off the names of Palestinian people that have been murdered and they didn't want to hear it. Oh, I don't want to hear it. Trust me, when it comes here, no one's going to help you. No one's going to help you.
And bro, like, we don't want to get into this.
Do you mean that there's a reason that there's a NYPD office in occupied Palestine?
and yo, you don't want to get into like the Romans to the British to the fucking American and how it's all the same shit. Yeah. It's all fuck connected. Yeah. It's the same fucking thing. Yeah. It's like they don't even change the paint. Like fucking, British Petroleum has been around for fucking ever. Like, they don't even change the fucking, but that's a whole like, but it's all linked up and you're turning a blind eye to it because you are living in comfortability. We are living pretty fucking. I'm drinking water, like cold water. I'm hot because I don't have air conditioning, but most people have air conditioning. I got electricity. I'm comfortable, and I don't want to fucking jeopardize that by caring about some fucking kids over there. There's some brown kids. I don't give a shit.
You're not gonna have a choice because the bomb is going to be in your neighborhood at some point.
It's coming.
You can't be sheltered and protected from all of the violence that your country inflicts upon others forever. It's been how many 100 years?
Yeah.
And think about that. Like, that's the way we think, right? We think that if we try to get better for ourselves and others, we will be put down like fucking dogs.
Yeah.
That's what we think. That's going through our heads all day long.
But you have to look at why that is too, though. Think about it. We celebrate the day that Martin Luther King was killed. You see what I'm saying? MLK was a peaceful brother. Malcolm X was the so-called, the violent one. They killed both of them. And we celebrate their death days to let you know that if you try to do something right for your people, we're going to kill you. But George Washington got to go home to Mount Vernon and die an old man. He fought for the fucking system. You see what I'm saying?
I was talking to a older comrade, and because I always had the same question, like why do we remember the death day, never the birthday? And that's what anybody, right, in our culture, society, whatever. And he said and particularly, we celebrate the death day of an activist or a revolutionary because that's what they fought for. They knew that their fight was going to lead to their death. So in their death, we show pride for them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We wouldn't
That's
cry
right.
for these people because that's the life that they chose. When you choose to be a warrior, you die by that gun. And when you die for somebody that may necessarily can't stand up for themselves, that's the most honorable death you can possibly have.
Yeah.
So that's why we celebrate our revolutionaries that way. At
That's
least
right.
that's why I do it.
Yeah, same here.
That's right.
Same here.
But I have a question to give y'all, right? So we if we look at the Bolsheviks, they taught us that only the real shit lasts, right? Like they were the ones to hold it down after everybody gave up. No one thought they can fight the industrialists at hand, and they were able to make it through to the other side. So when we hear about these, because MAGA communism is not going to be the last iteration of that. Like
Oh, of course not.
it dies and comes back all the time. So what I'm gonna ask my comrades is, how much do we look into this, and how much do we just let it fizzle out? Because at some point it does hurt, right? Like we can't deny.
Two
Wait, what?
things.
Go ahead.
Number one, like any cancerous root, it must be dug out in every crack and crevice where it exists. All the information you can possibly find out about it, you must do. It must be presented, and you must disinfect it with daylight. Everything must be brought to bear, all of it.
That's
anything,
right. And
anything any of them people do, bring it out.
And I got bad news for any liberals listening in on this. That actually means you too.
Especially.
Scratch a liberal.
In fact, exactly. In fact, almost especially just for the simple fact that, like, you're supposed to be on the left. You're not on the fucking left because you don't ever listen to the left. You don't want to help people. You want to be comfortable. It always comes down to comfort. So fuck you.
Comfort, exactly.
And I guess that was my point. Is like, and wouldn't, like, they have beaten it into us that wanting better will take away our comfort. Like they've said, we will fail if we do not follow them. If we do not listen to everything they say, we will fail. That's like parents who abuse their children. Like, you will fail if you do not do if you do not take out this trash, I will beat your ass. It's like what? Like I'm not 5, I'm not 10. I'm not 10 years old. I've been 10 years old for 20 years. Most of us haven't. Like I want to change my surroundings in life for the better, materially. And then not just me, but everybody around me is suffering in some way. Everybody.
It's almost like when Trump was like, "Don't vote for Kamala because she'll give you universal health care." Everybody's like, "Oh, I think that's a cool thing." I mean, not that Kamala, being the pig that she is, what I mean, is going to give you universal health care, because I don't fucking believe that for any day of the week, miss. I'll lock you up until I feel like you need to get out, or the state has gotten enough money from you since you've been locked up, or lock you up without even telling you what you did, because she's done that also. So we're gonna, I don't want to get into Kamala, but I don't believe any politician right now has any of the people's best interests at heart, and they're just Zionists willing to fund more genocide. So,
but that's the point. That's the point we're at, right? Is the populist doesn't even want to give you the populist thing. Like, the Nazis were cool with fucking, healthcare for all. Like, just, for them, not for all, for them. They were cool with it, but we're not even cool with it. We're like, fuck y'all came here on your own. You work it out. You work it out, bro. You fucking Irish motherfucker. You work it out. You do it.
Yeah. Hey, well, what do you think, Abby?
Oh yeah, and
About Matt.
Hi, Abby. You want to introduce
Hey, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Abigail. You can call me Manic. And I'm here because y'all are my friends and I want to support you.
Also, shout out your own podcast.
Oh yeah, I have a show called The Manic Pixie Weirdo where we talk about relationships. And this season we are diving into the book Unapologetic, a Black, Queer, and Feminist Mandate for Radical Movements by Charlene A. Carruthers. So check
It's a
that
fantastic podcast. I'm not saying that because I was a member guest.
Well, we love to have you. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, you don't really want to know what I think about MAGA communism. I feel like it's an entire waste of time. It's a distraction. You're one of two things. If somebody comes up to me and says they're a MAGA communist, you're one of two things. You're either an idiot and you have no idea what any of those words mean, or you're parading around in this facade of like intelligence when you don't know what you're talking about and you're not willing to be educated enough to go and like find out. So I just simply don't have the time.
That's great.
Wait,
That's
you mean
great.
to
I
tell
think
me
that's
that
it.
cherry picking information isn't good enough? You can't just cherry pick out of text?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I just there are better people than me out there that like have the patience and the time to like go in and like deconstruct all of the like all of the fucked up things about like being a MAGA communist, but I just don't have the time for morons. We have other things to do.
Yeah, that's true. And we didn't really want to hammer on about MAGA communism or Hinkle anyway. We just kind of wanted to just touch on it because it is a movement that's growing, and it's something to be on the lookout for. I do have a couple feelings about MAGA communism or the American Communist Party. But I think if I were going to say anything on the topic, I just say that like as far as Jackson Hinkle is concerned, his advocacy for Palestine could potentially be seen as some sort of grift, and more than likely it is. I'll say that if he's helped even one Palestinian, then great. But that does not absolve him from all the shady shit that he is capable of. So that's probably the only input that I would want to add there.
That's more of an opportunity to be anti-Semitic than anything else for him.
Yeah,
I mean, there's that too.
I want to add this too, because right, if you are so against, if you're against genocide in Palestine, right, but then at the same in the same breath, you're gonna be like, I love America and the flag. Let's break that down for a second. That flag, right? America itself is stolen land, number one. A genocide happened to have in America. And then on top of that, people were stolen from Africa, brought here. So that's what you love? That's the America that you love? This is the America that you thought was great and we're trying to fix? You want to fix something that was founded off of genocide and African slavery?
Hey,
But
we're
then you
not
want
perfect.
to advocate for Palestinians?
The United States is the blueprint. The United States is the blueprint for modern genocide.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. The whole thing. That's why it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But as we're talking about the genocide, we're going to get to now celebrity failures and I think people that have these huge numbers of followings in Twitter but don't share anything to help. They're quick to share a dead Palestinian, but cannot share a fundraiser to help the people that are in this dire situation. And I think it really needs to be addressed by this panel, and it needs to be addressed more widely so that people can understand that, you're not supposed to get popular from dead children.
Big facts.
You see what I'm saying? And I think it's fake as fuck, honestly. You know what I mean?
Especially when there's resources out there. Like right now, Moth was kind enough to introduce us all to Gaza funds, which is verified fundraisers. These are verified fundraisers that are out there. You can go and adopt one for yourself at gazafunds.com, GAZAFUNDS.com. Go there, help some people out, donate some cash, donate your time, just sharing it out there to try to get as many eyeballs on it as possible. Because if you get 10,000 people to give $1, that could completely change somebody's life, especially since we saw just this past few days the grocery prices in Palestine right now are astronomical. $6 for a tomato, $80 for a bag of diapers. There's no clean water. How are you supposed to even use the $35 for a container of powdered milk? How are you supposed to even use the powdered milk if you don't have clean water? And there's plenty of fundraisers out there, including the municipal fundraiser for Gaza, to help get their water and sanitation back up and start rebuilding some of the infrastructure that's been destroyed. Because I don't know if anybody's seen it, but pretty much all of Gaza is flat right now. There ain't shit left. Israel's dropped more bombs on Gaza, which is about less than the size of New York City. They've completely leveled it and dropped more bombs on it than the combined of Hiroshima, Dresden, and the London bombings of World War II. Right. All of those put together can't even touch what Israel has dropped in Gaza right now. And we're supposed to sit by and just let that happen while people are using the atrocities and the pain and the suffering of these innocent people who have done nothing. Their greatest crime is being born in a place where they didn't choose, but it's where they were born. It's where they belong. They feel strongly that they belong there, and they do belong there. But what you're going to use that pain and suffering to enrich yourself and get views and get eyeballs on your account and talk about how awful it is, but you're not going to offer to help in any way. Like if you're getting 1 million views on a post, the minimum you can do.
I don't even mean to interrupt you on that, but that was what did Damien say earlier? A celebrity fail, because a lot of people, that definitely describes a lot of people. But as this genocide started to unfold, the immediate concern for a lot of people was, hey, like, you have a platform, speak up, do something. And it wasn't just celebrities. It even became sort of like a social media micro celebrity sort of thing too, where like people with a pretty substantial or significant platform kind of dropped the ball, like even addressing the genocide at first, really, you know what I mean? But I guess those of us that were closer to it, or those of us who were close to people who were close to it, could see within the first week that this is bad. It is going to continue to be bad, and we have to do something now. And the urgency has continued to progress until today. It's day 336.
336, and there's still leftists that's scared to support Hamas. That's wild. Right. That's the wildest thing I've ever heard. Right. This is why when and I'm glad y'all brought this topic up, because literally, like, I have like these days where I'll go down like YouTube rabbit holes and see like what we were watching back in the 90s and all that, like exploitative TV, like Jerry Springer and all that. And it's so weird how I think all that has desensitized us for these moments, right? Because I can't hear a story, me personally, about somebody's child. I don't care if I hate you. Your child did nothing to me. I hear somebody's child in distress. I immediately at least want to know what's going on. If some kid got hit by a truck, God forbid, in my town, I need to know who's driving this truck. I have kids of my own. Like I have nieces and nephews of my own, and that's the first thing I go to. But I think because we are so desensitized now of what's going on, it's so easy to be like, oh, well, look at this thing. And because I'm the presenter, everybody puts their eyes on me. And because we're so self absorbed at times as Americans, we have an issue to empathize, just period, empathize, not sympathize, because there's a big difference. Sympathy and empathy are two separate things, and what we show a lot in America is plain sympathy. But to have empathy means to step into somebody else's shoes and say, hell, damn, where the fuck would that leave me? We can't do that, then there ain't no fucking movement. And
I don't see
it's
sympathy
important
or
for
empathy here.
people to have fucking these conversations right here and call people out. Call people out by name. I'm being very honest. If you've seen it happen, I promise you, we don't get rid of the problem until we start pointing at people. Period.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Very fucking true. Because it's the least you can do. It's a share. It's a share, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're experiencing this hell. Like the most you can do is share. You're gonna show them bleeding. You're gonna show babies all fucking mangled, and you can't put a fundraiser up for people. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like that's
So
something
as the fundraisers,
shit.
Fuck
yeah,
that.
as the
Put your bread up.
fundraisers started to happen.
Put your bread up. I'm tired of this shit too. Put your
Yeah.
fucking bread
Put
up.
your bread
I
up,
don't have
exactly.
a fucking job, and I've been putting money in Palestinian pockets because that's what empathy is. If you cannot come up with a fucking dollar, get off the internet, please. Please. Because you're no help to anybody.
Facts. Facts.
I can't wait till we get to Africa, man. Y'all, when they're ready to help Africa, I can't wait to see this shit.
and then that's the crazy thing. There's genocides happening in Africa at the same time that we're talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is all
Africa,
happening
Haiti,
at the same time.
Artsakh, you could pick a corner. Pick a fucking corner. There's one for everyone.
Holy fuck, man. Where the fuck are we going, man? Like,
hell, they fucking Lahaina burned down last year. Niggas forgot about it. I was talking to Democrats the other day. I said, how y'all gonna win Hawaii? I said, why would we lose Hawaii? I said, no, you fucking didn't. Tell me that's my thing. That's in what?
Wait, $700 doesn't buy a vote anymore? That's a lot of money.
$700, baby.
$700. 3 fucking years ago. Four fucking years ago. I didn't see a diamond. They sent. This is how bizarre this shit is. They sent a fucking check to my dead mother, who had been dead for 7 months, 8 months, and they sent a check to her. They didn't send no check to me. They didn't send shit to me. Like if you don't pay taxes, you don't fucking exist. You don't exist.
Let me say something.
The rich
let me
don't
say
pay
something. I'm saying, let me tell you on that note, don't pay your fucking taxes. Like seriously. Like no, seriously, like fucking I'm not even joking anymore, because the reality is that that's praxis. Like think about where your taxes are going in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And on the topic of Cop City and on the topic of fascism, like they don't have the amount of jails to lock us all up. They're building them.
Yeah.
So the time to make noise and fuck shit up and continue to escalate is going to be now. It's been already for a while, even before October 7th. Tension was high, period. But you felt it. You can shake your head, but you felt it. You knew what was up.
No, I know.
Hey, you got 4 states right now that make it illegal to fucking protest. There's like 3 or 4 states that it's illegal to protest already. The time at that window for any type of like change, real revolutionary change for people to come together, change, that shit is closing.
And they're banning masking in public.
Exactly. Fuck. Well, a friend of mine, she protested the cop city in Atlanta. She's got terrorist charges for literally holding up a sign. She didn't even do anything. She was holding a sign.
She became a terrorist as soon as President Biden took office. Tell him why, Pale. Tell him why.
Under the Biden administration, there was a press release for updates to the national security definition of what a terrorist is, which includes anybody who has ecological interests, anti-capitalist interests, anti or pro-abortion interests. So covered both sides of that stadium. And there was a litany of other ones, and I will tell you flat out right now, anybody out there who's sitting there
criticizing the government
in any way.
Yeah.
I will tell anybody out there right now who is afraid of what is going to happen to you, you need to take a look inside of yourself and realize that no matter what, if your interests are the best interests of humanity and you do have empathy and you are willing and able to do anything to stop the atrocities that are going to be coming your way, then you are already a terrorist. They have already painted you that way, and you will remain that way for the rest of your life as long as they exist.
And that's why Palestine is going to get free, and that's why Palestinians always tell you that you need to get free.
Yeah. All of our freedom is wrapped up together. All of our freedom. And on this channel and in Guardians of Guillotines, we support Hamas. We support Hamas.
100%. Like, what? Why wouldn't I support freedom fighters no matter what they call themselves?
Exactly.
What did y'all think decolonization meant? Vibes, papers, essays,
thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
That's sympathy. That's an example of sympathy. Thoughts and prayers is sympathy. Empathy is saying glory to the resistance, because is what it really is.
Empathy is saying, I know why they're doing it. Can I do it too? That's empathy. Like, can I help? Empathy is, I know why they're doing it. I feel it, and can I help? Like,
and for the people out there who are going to say, "Oh, you guys are violent. You guys are violent." Is poverty not violence? Is land theft not violence? Is homelessness not violence? Is racism not violence? So why is it only violent when we fight back, so that this doesn't be done to us and our people?
Shit, you don't even have to have a fucking rock. You don't even have to have a fucking a bow and arrow. Like, you can literally just have seeds, and it's violence. You can have a pail of water that is violent against this state, which tells you you cannot own the seeds. You cannot have the seeds. You cannot plant the seeds. That is illegal.
You cannot collect the water that falls from the sky.
So that is violent. That when I say violence, I don't know about everybody, but when I say it, I'm talking about fucking, like, feeding my neighbor. I'm talking about fucking sitting there and tending to wounds and healing. I'm talking, that is violent against the state that, like, will not let you fucking have outside medical care, or the medical care that they do give you is tied up in patents that nobody can see, or they're selling you shit that they tweaked, like a milligram of fucking, shit this way, and now they sell it to you for $750 for a pill, for one pill. And you need 70 pills to live. Right.
Looking
there.
At you, Martin Shkreli, the fucking guillotines, the fucking, they got to roll out. They got to roll out.
But they're really trying to fucking get you to even recognize that Martin Shkreli even exists now. He's on fucking podcasts, like, right fucking now he's doing podcast circuits talking about, oh, what I did was bad, but they do it too. And, like,
they try to do that shit. They try to do that shit with Bush all the fucking time.
And Pale just showed you. Pale just showed you exactly what the fuck
Stupid
I'm
little
talking
dog
about.
drawing.
That insulin right there, or
Yeah,
whatever.
how much you pay for that? How much is
This
that?
this is, and I'm kind of lucky at this point because of these. These are over the counter Walmart Novalin 7030. It is $43 for a 5-pack of pens that lasts me about 8 days, which means that during a month, I have to buy 4 packs of these, which comes to about $160 a month just so that I don't die.
Oh, that's a very low price, Pale. Oh, you should be proud. 160. That's so low. It's so low.
Yeah, in Cuba they get it for free.
What? No, it's dirty commies.
In Cuba, in Cuba.
I don't know why they would do that in Cuba though. Like, why give it away for free if that's what the creators wanted?
Well, you see, Cuba did this weird thing where they made a bunch of doctors, and their doctors are like world known. So like, I guess they wanted to keep the swag of having healthy citizens. Stupid.
It would have been. It wouldn't have been.
If you have healthy citizens though, but then you can't really like exploit them as easily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wow, and that's the other ones.
Cuba is
you racked up. We're going to party at Pale's house
because they want you to be healthy. You don't get the choice not to, right?
You don't get the choice to die.
Well, that's fascism. I don't like fascism.
And Cuba does all of this, and they did all this while being called terrorists. Okay,
and suffering under a 60+ year embargo.
Right,
60+ year embargo. Okay,
they do all of that. They do all of that while being oppressed by the biggest oppressor.
90 miles off the coast.
And they're like, okay, we're not great. They're not great because they can't be great because you have told them they can't be great. So
no, they're great.
And they're still fucking great. And they're still pretty fucking great.
While Cuba exports medicine and doctors, the United States exports death, destruction, and bombs.
It's like
a non-small cell lung cancer vaccination.
Exactly. And that's another thing. Viva Cuba, siempre en el bloqueo, end the bloqueo. We want that. All of us here support Cuba and ending the blockade. We want to make that well fucking known. Viva la revolución. Always live Cuban communists, Cuban socialism. We support you fully. I'm Cuban myself. All day, every day, we are with you 100%. All my people in Cuba, I love you.
And I'll add to the Viva Cuba shit, we're now stealing that vaccine. We are stealing it.
What?
So
yep.
So
holy fuck.
So
what's wrong with us?
It ain't me. Fuck that, it ain't us, it's them.
It's them.
Nah, but they be looking at us though.
It was like, so they had this breakthrough, then they started fucking talking to, I forgot what hospital it was, and it's some hospital on the East Coast. It was taking forever for them to get, like, because America was saying, no, you can't talk to the Cuban doctors. You can't talk to them. You can't share this information. So they eventually got it over to, I fucking forgot which hospital it was. Some hospital on the East Coast. And
hold on.
Yeah. And then about 9 months later, 10 months later, you start hearing rumblings that these corporations, the big pharma coming out with a fucking lung cancer vaccine. And it's like, oh, where'd they get that? I wonder. I like, and it's like, and they're doing it right in front of your fucking face. Like they do it in front of your face, and you go, well, those are the bad guys. because they told us those were the bad guys. And then everything they're doing, they're like sitting there holding a puppy. And then they feed the puppy. And then they put the puppy to sleep. And then they wake up and the puppy is alive. And then the guy over there has a decapitated puppy in his fucking hand. And it's like, I wonder who's the fucking bad guy. I just wonder. You know, like it's got to be this guy because he looks like me, kind of.
Or maybe it's the guy with all the fucking nukes.
Hey, you know he nuked that puppy. He went in there. He paid some he paid some lowly fucking civilian to go in there and get him the head of a decapitated nuke puppy. He just walking around with a glove like.
And shit, honestly, and speaking of nukes, I think we are at the closest we've ever been to actual thermonuclear conflict.
And they want you to want it. And they want you to fucking want it. They want you to fucking want it. They want you
I've heard pundits say that if there was a nuclear exchange, it wouldn't be that bad.
They want you to want it.
I said, what? No way. I said, not that bad for who? Who's going to get hit with these things? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Continually poking the Russian bear. Like the whole war in Ukraine, they are going deeper into Russia. They attack into Kursk. Like we are literally knocking on the door. Like even though Putin's a capitalist, I think Putin has like monk level like fucking restraint. Because if anybody would attack my country and try to put nuclear weapons on my doorstep, there's going to be a fucking problem. And he hasn't nuked the United States yet. He hasn't nuked any of the fucking European countries, and he's been holding his shit. You know what I mean? Like and literally pleading to the West, like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like, are you guys trying to have this happen? Like, I can fuck you guys up if I really want to. And he hasn't.
He's been playing along with him for what, 40 years now, 35 years, like let's say 35 years. He's been playing along with him for 35 fucking years. And then the whole fucking time he's like, don't, like, we know what the line was, and it's don't get, and then for the past 30 fucking years, they've been getting closer and closer and closer. And it's like, so this is just the continuation of the Nazi regime.
Yes.
I mean, you can't see it any other fucking way. But, and this
there's no Nazis in Ukraine.
There's no Nazis in Ukraine. There's no Nazis. There's no Nazis in the American military party. There's no Nazis in the fucking Czechoslovakian or Czech military party. There's no Nazis any fucking where. Don't look. National Socialism. You know, and all the while you got the Nordic countries sitting up there in Rome, sitting down there, sitting there going, you know, peace, peace, peace.
No, the Nordic countries are joining NATO.
Yeah, right. And because they're all the same shit. They're all like, that's where the fucking richies went. That's where the people with the resources sit there and collect their fucking resources. I mean, who go out there and tell people to collect their resources. That's where they sit there and they take the money. They take the bounty. They take the yachts. They got the saunas and the fucking, and then the cold pools, and then the saunas, and then the cold. Man, I would fucking love a sauna and cold pool. Like what? You know, and it's like.
What was it? I think Zelensky bought a yacht and bought his parents I think it's $100 million house that had a salt swimming pool.
My girl,
salt swimming pool.
My girl needs salt. You know, she has it, and we can't even afford to get fucking, you know, and that's the thing, is like, so a lot of people don't realize this. So one billionaire's yacht could feed all of Portland, all of fucking Miami, all of Chicago. One yacht. And we're sitting here going, oh man, I can't even get fucking eggs. Oh, I can't even afford to get, I want some whipped cream, and you can't even afford to get it. And it's like, you know, you get tired. You get tired of going, oh, I can't even get it. and then you look over there, and that motherfucker's got a yacht. That motherfucker's got a house that can fit 400 fucking people in it, and he's not even there. Like the billionaire ain't even in that fucking house. He's like he's in his other house. Then he's in his penthouse. Then he's taking a helicopter to his yacht, and then and we're like, oh man, I can't afford to put gas in the car.
But you need to be concerned about your carbon footprint, Adrian.
You got to be concerned. Not the corporation or the U.S. military. You have to be concerned about your carbon footprint.
And that's the other thing too. We sit there and we go, fucking, you know, we need all of this mining to fucking for our phones and for our computers. Like, what was it? Oh fuck! I think it was like 5% or like 10%. It was some fucking super low. Goes to that shit. Goes to your fucking laptop or your phone. It's all going to these big ass fucking server farms. It's all going to all of these components on fucking warships and on yachts and on fucking personal fucking planes. It's not going to fucking your computers. You need to like expand. You're not,
and even worse than that, there's no recycling.
There's
no actual recycling in this country. All the giant server farms that used to exist they're upgrading, and now they're bringing in the new technology and building the AI servers and quantum computing and all that crap. All the old shit is going to the landfill. It's all going to the landfill. I'm sorry. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania. I know that the trash company that I pay every quarter to come pick up my trash, they have a recycling bin and a trash bin. But you know what comes down my alley every fucking week? It's the same goddamn trash truck. And you know where everything goes from both of those fucking containers? It goes right in the back of that trash truck because they ain't fucking cycling it out. They're not checking it. They're not going to recycle it. It's going right to the landfill. It's not cost effective. It's profit motivated. The entire system is profit motivated. They're not going to recycle because it costs too much money. It takes too much energy. It takes too much manpower.
That brings us to why capitalism is a giant fucking waste. They don't even sell bananas on the market because the banana is not in the shape of the classical banana. There was literally a pile of bananas. This dude is like this big compared to the mountain of bananas that were behind him that they were going to throw away and leave to rot in a fucking field because why don't you just give that to people? But no, there's no profit margin. This is all about waste. It's all about wanton waste. That's all they do. No. How much food? I work in the food industry. We throw out so much food, bro. And Vlad, you're a cook. You can. I know you can attest for this too. I know you've seen it yourself. Whole trays of food getting tossed in the garbage when there's people starving. There's people living in tents on our fucking streets. Like, how much more does it need to be knocked on our head that we are being fucking lied to? Our money is being taken from us. Look, we're giving Israel has free healthcare. Israel has free fucking you can go to college. You can go to college for free. They have housing. They have what is that? The housing subsidies. They have everything that we've been screaming for. That they have because they've been giving our money to these people to murder Palestinians, to steal their land.
Like fully paid for birthright trips.
Fully paid for, exactly. Birthright trips. You're from fucking New Jersey, dude. You are not from fucking Palestine. You are from fucking New Jersey. Go back to Brooklyn.
Poland, fucking Czechoslovakia.
The fuck?
America, fucking, oh yeah, like New Jersey. It's kind of like, it's like the other part of America that we don't talk about so much. But yeah, no, it's fucking true. It's like that's why it's all connected. I mean, going back to Cop Cities and the American Zionist Alliance, and fucking even all the way to capitalism. I think that we can all agree with that part specifically. That capitalism is the intersection of all oppression.
Facts.
It's like the fucking funnel. Like, it's like they shove all the shit into the funnel and then it gets poured down our fucking throats. Like,
Right.
It's
Trickle
like,
down.
trickle down.
Like that fucking worked. Reaganomics. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Reaganomics worked. Like it worked. It worked perfectly. Like you don't even know the bullshit you're missing. Shit, we basically have fucking free healthcare and free fucking college in this country when we were a New Settler Colonial Project. But then they took it away because we need to create confusion and distrust and all this other good shit. It worked so well.
Well, you know why? Because they're taunting you. Because you cap a cop, you get free healthcare for life. They get the teeth done. They get all nice and set, boy.
Right.
Hey, you can fucking fix up them white bean soups, bro. That ask for the kosher meal and you good.
You get 3 squares. I promise you that.
What you want me to run into that burning fire? Sure, I'll do it for 5 cents. Let's go. Like that's what they want. They know that the only way this motherfucker can work is off of slavery because they want profit. They want profit, which is your surplus fucking labor. That's your money. That's yours. That's your resources. That's
your time.
Your time, your fucking energy, your back, your knees. You're being ground into the fucking dust, and then they sit there and tell you, well, maybe you can get fucking 4 years at the end of your life. Nah. Like my mom,
what? Lay down?
Wait, my mom had this big plan, and then she got fucking renal failure. She had this huge fucking plan and going on trips and all this stuff. She was only 64 fucking years old when she got renal failure. Like they wanted her to work till she was 70 goddamn years old, and then she would have had 2 weeks. She didn't even make it to her 70th birthday. Like they grind you into a fucking fine powder. That's the grind. They pump that up. They make that fucking dope, right? They grind you into a fine fucking powder, and then they sit there and don't give a fuck about the dust. They don't care about the dust at the end. And I care about the person, and then I care about when you get ground down, and then I care about the dust, and I care about everything else. We care about the whole, the totality. We want everybody to be taken care of.
Yeah, we want everybody. Why shouldn't you? I mean, look. Take the Soviet Union for a perfect example. The monstrous Soviet Union. Ooh, the boogeyman in the 80s that'll come and roast us in the night with fucking nuclear weapons and whatnot. They had fucking free buses to go to work. They gave you a month off, and they sent you to a fucking resort for a month. All paid resort. Hey, you're on a beach, you're drinking, you're chilling, you and everybody else that you work with. These were things that were put in place for the worker as a worker's paradise almost. And I hate to use that word paradise, but anything compared to what the fuck the workers are going through today in America is a fucking paradise in my eyes. You know what I mean? But then we look at that and say, oh, socialism and communism is bad. No, you know what you are? I think these people are sadists. But we're sadists in this country.
You can get your free bus, you can get free healthcare. You just got to go through all of these hoops and not fucking work. But then you can't live.
What, women had a year off if they got pregnant? You and the husband had a year off. Vlad, how long did you have when you had kids? How long did you have off?
My last son was born, and I went back to work that night.
Jesus Christ! Yo, the system, you can't even be happy about making another person. Get right back to fucking work. What?
Yeah.
At what point do humans say, I don't want to do this thing? Because I'll be very honest, my first job, I was in that motherfucker for a cool 45 minutes. They had to talk me down not leaving that motherfucker. I'm an Xbox at home. Why the fuck would I want to stay here all day? That don't make no sense to me. That's never left my soul. I go into work, any job I've ever had, I can think about 1,000 things I'd rather do before I clock in. Every fucking time.
Every time.
There was a story a couple of years back, like right around the time that we all met each other. Someone working at a Burger King drive-through got shot through the drive-through window, and they didn't even close. Yeah, they didn't even close. They had workers working before the blood was cleaned up.
Oh my God.
Just this past week, there was the 60 some odd year old woman who was working at Wells Fargo. She was dead at her desk for 4 straight days without anybody ever checking on her. She was dead at her desk for 4 days.
No, dude, I heard the story just a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
For 4 days?
4 days.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy fuck.
You know what? It's really good though, because you know what Wells Fargo did after they found her? They got her out of there and they put a hiring sign outside. So I mean, that's cool, right?
They probably fixed her hours too, so she won't get overtime. No, they did.
Yeah, 100%.
They ain't gonna give. Hey, bro, you know they're not gonna give her family the paycheck, and if they do, it's gonna be like litigated like a motherfucker. They do not like giving up paychecks after the motherfucker's dead. Like,
and this is where we're at. This is where it's getting into feudalism, because remember, in feudalism, the Lord just took your crops from you.
We're already fucking
our money is just being taken from us. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no type of they're taking our money literally.
They're taking our money and then they're using it to buy weapons to sell to countries to kill the most vulnerable people among us.
Exactly.
Now here's the most fucked up part. Okay, when we try to dissect the American economy, right? You can say all you want to. You want to boycott. You want to not take a part in it. You just want the machine to stop, right? But it's the entire economy. The entire economy is the war machine. Everything that is in the economy either is the war machine or is designed to support the workers of the war machine to keep you going on the most basic of terms. Our school systems are designed to create good little workers, thanks to Rockefeller. All of it is just designed to make you into the perfect little cog for that machine so they can continue to build a bigger empire built on war. What's the biggest part of our budget every year? Anybody?
Defense budget.
Wrong. Social Security. But you know why it's Social Security? It's because the United States federal government owes and is the biggest debtor to Social Security because we pulled money for it for war.
For war.
Oh my God.
That was George Bush W, right?
Yep.
Christ.
So when people talk about the biggest cop out people get is the national debt. We can't pay for it because the national debt don't mean shit. What the national debt is a budget ledger that shows us where the money went because it was an investment through a fiat currency system.
Yep.
The problem is that you're supposed to be able to check off at the end when that money is used in the budget, but they can't check it off because the people who have money are hoarding more money, and then the government can't get it back to check it off the ledger. So then the economists out there who decide what prices are going to be look at the ledger and say, oh, all this money's out here, so we got to start charging more because people have all this money. We got to get this money out. We got to be able to tax it, so the prices have to go up. So when people talk about government spending is what causes inflation and all that kind of shit, that's bullshit. What causes inflation is when the government spends money but can't get rid of it off of the ledger because they can't tax it back, because people like Kamala Harris, people like Donald Trump, people like every fucking administration back to Ronald Reagan and even before him were cutting fucking taxes on the wealthy. Every time you let a wealthy person not pay taxes over a certain amount, just like with Social Security, with the income tax brackets on that, anything over like, I think it's like $261,000 or something like that, if you make it in a year, doesn't get taxed for Social Security. Think about how many people in this country make way more than that, way more than $261,000, and they're not getting charged a single penny on Medicare or Social Security for the rest of that income that they have. And we're missing out on that. That's there to help keep a balance. People talk about balancing the budget. It's about taking out and putting in. We haven't had a balanced budget in so fucking long in this country because they're so afraid to put taxes on. And that's because our entire system is captured. It's captured by rich people. They pay off the politicians to make sure that the tax codes favor them so they can harbor more money and keep it out of your pocket and in their pocket, which lets them raise the prices because there's more money out in the system. So let's raise the prices, which is going to put everybody else further down in the system. And since they own the means of production, where does all the money you spend go? It goes to them.
Right back
it goes to them.
Right back to them.
It's the perfect feedback loop to fuck you in the ass.
Yeah.
But it's the best system we have, and it's worked well for so long.
That's why I used to laugh with Fidel. He goes, "Oh, capitalism works." Say, how good is capitalism working for Mexico? How good is it working, for Congo? You know what I mean? It's disgusting, dude. It's literally disgusting. And like
capitalism works for capitalists. That's it.
And that's it. And that's it. And that's it. And you have to have
you. It could be you.
I could be a
Then
millionaire.
even then, that's not even all the way true, because as soon as there's another Amazon, what the fuck happens to all the Walmarts? This shit is numbered, just like everybody else. That's why they gang up and they sit so close to each other, because they know, hey, that's my real fucking enemy right there. I'm one ass chop away before there's no more Kmart's near me for the next 600 fucking miles. Like, yeah, these niggas, they're sharks, and like, I mean, I hate saying that because I just watched the video on sharks. They're bad. I ain't gonna get into it. That's not.
Sharks are better than
them. Son, I'm telling you, but their instinct is to bite first, and if the bite tastes good, then that's it. We have tuna for the rest of the night, boys. That's it. Yeah. But they see them other sharks in the water, and they know that their time is coming too. I was watching something the other day, and they was like, Walmart has to be the biggest fucking bag drop of all time, because they could have been Amazon 10 times faster, even as Amazon was growing with the books. They could have been online, but they thought their big box stores were such a fucking thing that why would I ever want to fucking put in for the new infrastructure? Well, because that's where everybody else is going. And lo and fucking behold, now they could never catch up to Amazon. If they bought into half of Amazon, they could never make it back up. They couldn't.
And speaking of Amazon, I live in Sacramento. I forgot what town I was in, but I saw an Amazon box store. An Amazon food fucking store, people. Okay? I said we are living in a dystopian nightmare when I take a picture of this fucking store. It wasn't open yet, but it said Amazon on the outside, and it said grocery. I said, what? I said, next we're gonna be living in Amazon cities. That's gonna be the next thing.
I mean, they already own Whole Foods.
And, welcome to Costco. I love you.
Right. And so, like, I'm in Portland, and they're like, right now, Kroger and Albertsons are merging, or trying to. They've been trying to for fucking 3 years now. All of your food where you go get food is going to be owned by two fucking corporations. Two. Amazon and Kroger and Walmart. So sorry,
One.
three. And,
What about BlackRock?
one. And that's where we go into one. So it's all gonna get consolidated. I was just watching this fucking thing about Ticketmaster. You know, Ticketmaster owns the Live Nation, which owns Ticketmaster, owns 80% of all fucking venues in the country. Like,
holy shit.
You've created something that you cannot stop. You can't stop it. It has to eat every fucking thing. And if it thinks that for a moment it can't keep eating, it's gonna lash out at everybody fucking else because it needs to keep eating. So you've created something that is willing to even cannibalize itself to destroy what it was fucking doing. And
Ukraine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like
9/11.
It's like they're sitting here, they're I ain't gonna tell you, but they're sacrificing fucking Israelis too. They're sacrificing them. They're saying, fuck it, this is our shot. We're gonna blow it up. We're gonna go hard all in, and nobody is going to follow that shit. It's too much. It's too much. So they're going to start unraveling their whole settler colonial project because they want too much. They want
but that's the thing. I don't think that, because look at Nazi Germany. They were able to fucking look everywhere the Nazis went. They recruited soldiers. Okay. Everywhere they went, you might think they were the worst thing in the world, but every place they went in Europe, they had fucking SS men willing to sign up and die for them.
And
so what I'm saying is, to the point nowadays, because we know the Greater Israel Project is a real thing. We know they want a war with Iran. They want a larger war with with China. They want another war. They're at war with Russia already. They want to invade Lebanon. You see what I'm saying? So it's like at what point do the people wake up to the bullshit? Because I can still see people wanting to go fight.
But they're going to want to fight because they think, like we've already been talking about, you either fight for them or you fucking lose. So why not go fight for them? Like, that's already ingrained in the fabric. Now you need people, you need organizations to say that there is another way, bros. 100%. You don't have to go and be a part of this settler colonial project. You don't have to go and do this. And that's what Hamas is fighting. That's what they're fighting for, is to tell you to fucking stop with this program. Right? To stop it. And we are picking up on that, and we're telling people to stop. And that's what we need. We need more people to tell them to fucking stop with the program. And they're doing it so violently, so viciously. And we're seeing babies in bags, and we're seeing in Congo and in other places, we're seeing just decimation of our people. And we can use that to then, and I hate saying we can use it, but we can fucking sit there and say, see, this is what we've been talking about. Stop it. This is what we've been fucking talking about. Stop. This is what they've been doing. And this is how we stop it. And this is, we feed people without condition. We clothe people. We arm people to fight back. And we bring them in, and they've had nowhere to go. The only place they've had to go was fucking to the war machine, to the Nazi project, to the assimilation project.
And it's beautiful that you say that, because that brings me up on the next topic, which is mutual aid. mutual aid and supporting each other, and how we can build the systems to actively fight against this settler colonial project that they're trying to ram down our throats, like how we can support each other as comrades, how we can help the people, how we can teach the people. This is my next thing, and what to do, and what we should be doing as leftists, as communists, as anarchists. Like where should we see ourselves in 10 years, and how we can how we can strengthen our ties together. So you know what I mean. And I'll say my first bit. I believe that we should be growing our own food, if you can. You know what I mean. It doesn't take much to grow food. If you can grow your own food, do it. If you can help where you can by sending money to Gaza funds or to mutual aid or to people that need help, feeding homeless people, house, anything to counteract the evil that's being perpetrated by these capitalist pigs. And I also believe as leftists, we need to start training. We need to start meeting up. We need to start having these group discussions, not only on the internet, not only on fucking Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We need to be meeting up in real life, in real time, face to face, and having these discussions as communists, coming together and creating something real, tangible that we can touch, and not just being on the internet. And I believe that I have a feeling, because I've been in the streets helping, and I've seen more anarchists out there doing the actual work than I have seen communists. And it's always bugged me out, because communists have a big mouth on the internet, but then when it comes to like real world things, you never really see them that much. You see what I'm saying? So I believe we need to get out there more. It's part of our ideology to be amongst the proletariat, to be amongst the poorest of us, to be amongst the marginalized, to help. You know what I mean? And also, we need to be training. We need to be going into the woods, 4 or 5 comrades. If you have a gun, if your boy don't got a gun, let him use yours. Start shooting. This is all for self-defense. Like we have to defend ourselves. We have to defend ourselves. Self-defense is prominent. You hear Trump, I'm coming after you guys. I'm coming after communists. I'm coming after Antifa and all these people. We are anti-fascist. We are anti-fascist. Anti-fascism is fighting Nazis. You know what I mean? In Italy, they were fighting fucking Nazis. It was war. It was combat. You know what I mean? So we have to be prepared. We have to start using our gun laws. You know what I mean? If our comrades don't have guns, let your comrade use your gun. Use your gun. You're in the woods, train. Go 3 days in the woods camping together. You know what I'm saying? Meet up. Like we need to get off the internet. The internet is a great tool to bring people together, but it's detrimental in a way, because people get stuck on a platform and don't do anything in real life to affect any type of change or to help anyone. So, communists or anarchists, we need to be in the streets.
Can I tell you a story that happened to me really recently? All right, so for y'all that don't know, let's call it, I joined the adult Cub Scouts. They're about socialism and liberation. So you really don't have much wiggle room there. You'll call yourself socialism and liberation. You better know how to defend yourself. And for the most part, when I talk to my fellow Cub Scouts, we're on the same time. But the other day, I brought up, hey, listen, just for like an activity, because all the times I see them, we're doing work. We're not actually like coming together as a family. So I said, for like a family like bonding thing, we can go shooting, right? And half of them, mind you, it's a bunch of like old ladies in my group. So half of my troop gun ho, right? Then the other half, they're gunshot, which I advocate for anybody who is not comfortable around a firearm. I think just like Damien said, it's imperative, you call yourself a revolutionary, to know something about a firearm. But if they make you queasy and you don't feel comfortable, I'd much rather somebody know what the fuck they're doing with a gun around me than somebody who's skittish. And there's always work for other people around revolution. However, like I said, it is imperative. So when they pulled back, I said, well, hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, you'll never feel more empowered until you shoot a gun, because you'll now understand you have the tool to protect yourself. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to get your cousin Ray Ray to beat nobody up. You have something near you that can help you in a time of need. And there's no better feeling than locking in your own security. It's second to none. And as I'm, we're talking about this and, trying to get them to, the old ladies, they're down for it. They done shot their fucking mistress like not fucking times already. They on their sixth husband, like they ready to fucking do this. But the younger, they're a little. So I encourage you just the same way I would encourage them to try it out. We are gun nuts here, so you will trip over a gun shop, a shooting range somewhere. I promise you. You probably never even noticed that it was there before.
Yeah, I want to add a little caveat to what Alim was saying too. I want not everybody's a frontliner. We understand that. Not everybody's a frontliner. You know what I'm saying? And you get in where you fit in. You understand? There's a job for everyone in this. The job for everyone in this. We're just saying to come outside of your comfort zone and to do it at least once. At least once if you have to. At least once. But there is a place for everyone in this. Not everyone's going to be up front fighting. We need people that know how to cook. We need people that know how to run guns places, all types of shit. So there's a job for everyone. And that question that Alim was talking about, like what we should do, I'm posing that question to each one of you. So after Alim is finished, I want all of you guys to put in your own what you feel what we should be doing and what everything else. But go ahead, Alim.
Nah, man, more than anything, because you touched on everything that's technical, right? Like the survival skills, the learning how to tie ropes, stuff like that, learning how to fish and find water, learning how to homemaking, sewing, learning how to all that shit is great. What I want, if anybody's listening to this, what I want for you more than any fucking thing is to drop your fear. We are all afraid. We are all terrified. But the only way that goes away is if you stand up to that fear. That's what bravery is. You cannot be brave if you're not fearful first. But this doesn't end until we end it. I like to say all the time to my friends here that nobody's coming to save us. Nobody. We are all alone, but together. We are alone together. And as soon as we wake up to that fact, it's a little less scary. I'm telling you, once you learn how to fend for yourself, you'll be able to help fend for other people's selves. And it's going to come second nature. I'll give you a perfect example. I think everybody in here has grown something at some point, some food that they put in their mouth. As gardeners, as people who make food, how many times a harvest have you said, well, I have too much of this shit? I have not even trying. I have too much of this shit. I'll give it away. I'm not Walmart. I don't give a fuck. Hey, listen, you hungry? There's a bag of strawberries here. First come, first serve. If it gotta be, because goddamn it, strawberries grow like nothing I've ever seen before.
Wow.
Zucchini. Anybody that's grown zucchini, that shit, it's a reason why it's cheap. It's a reason. But that shit can be given away. Even if you don't want to give it to a person, you can feed nature with it. Nature needs to rebound too.
Exactly.
There's so much to do, guys. There's like literally when I go online and I see people argue 6-7 hours on end about Lenin's favorite sock color, it blows my fucking mind. I want to murder communists sometimes. I feel like a self-hating commie. You ain't got to worry about fucking Trump.
The communists messed up communism.
You gotta go back. You just got to go back to, theory without praxis isn't shit.
Huh.
Yeah,
So
man,
do
just
it.
the fear. Get rid of that fear, and I'm
if you're already doing it, then escalate. Keep going. Don't stop. Like, we have to do more. We have to do more than protest. We have to do a lot more. Like, real shit. Go look at PAL action. If you need some ideas, I don't know. There's more to do, though.
The second time, bro.
Vlad?
Did you guys know that Norfolk, Virginia, and San Diego, California have two of like the largest naval installations in the whole country? They're like the two largest ones.
Yeah.
I don't know why I brought that up, but
Portsmouth, New Hampshire, too. That's a pretty large one.
Portsmouth.
Yeah,
that's right.
Actually, now that you mention that,
VA is like home to like every single weapons company, like corporate headquarters. All of them are in VA.
Shut them down.
Shut them down.
and now that you mention that, actually, one of the big things that a lot of us need to do is we need to be out in those streets. We need to be talking to people. You can't sit there and proclaim online that you're a communist and you love this system and you think it's the right thing to do and you think it's the right way to go, and in the second you meet somebody on the street, you keep your mouth shut.
After cursing me out. They will curse me out for an hour because I don't know fucking what. And then when I'll be the same nigga you see on the street, and you look down at the floor.
I spend most of my days in front of a CNC machine cutting plastics and getting people in off the street, and truck drivers and sales reps and vendors and all that kind of crap come walking up to me. And one of the major topics of conversation that always comes up is politics. And the second politics comes up, I'm not keeping my mouth shut. I'm going to tell them flat out. I'm going to be out and open and honest about it. And I'm going to tell them as much as I possibly can about what I know and how they can look at the way that they're looking at the world and try to deconstruct how they're looking at things. Deconstruction is one of the first steps that anybody can take. If you're somebody who's watching this for the first time, you ain't never heard of none of these ideas, you don't know anything that we're talking about, you need to start questioning things, and you need to question the way you question things. You need to deconstruct every aspect of your life and how you see the world, because it is not what you think it is. It has never been, and it will never be. America is not the greatest country in the world. It is the most powerful country in the world right now, and that is it. It is not great. It was never great. It will never be great. You need to get that shit out of your head. And anybody out there who is a communist, who is out and has a job, and you're out there in the streets, speak on it. Be about it. Don't hold back, because the second you hold back, they've already won.
Adrian, Vlad, you guys got anything?
I'm hot. It's like 100 degrees in this bitch. I felt like I was going to pass out like 8 times during this motherfucker. But love people, and the main fucking thing is don't be afraid. They want you to be afraid. They need you to be afraid. As the last 150 fucking years of communist ideal in this country has been snuffed out, and You're bringing it back, and you need to bring it back hard. And you need to, so just this this is terrifying. Like talking online about this shit, like with my face, and like fucking, I got family. I got people who, this is scary. But
Or a mask, dude.
That'll trick them. That'll fool them.
Fucking Doom in the corner.
Yeah, like, oh shit! Did Dumoulin come back? Oh no!
Yeah.
Like, but recognize the fear, then drop it, then go. I'm going forward. I got to do this. We got to do this. We got to talk about it. We gotta move forward. We can't let just sit there and let fucking 501Cs control the narrative on how we help people. We can't, because this has gotten us to a point where we are literally getting spoiled food from food banks. We're getting fucking subpar healthcare, and we're getting fucking, scraps. And we can't allow we can't allow the capture to control the conversation. And we can't allow millionaires and wannabe millionaires and billionaires and wannabe billionaires control how we speak and what we talk about and how we go about getting what we need for our people. We can't. And so rise up.
Yeah, you all nailed it. Like once you get past the fear, even just something as simple as talking to your neighbors, asking what they need, joining an org, handing out bottles of water to people when it's 105 like it is here, and striking conversation with them, not just handing a bottle of water and walking away. Like, be a person, show you're a person, show your humanity, and fight through all that fear of presenting who you are and what you actually believe, because you're not wrong. Everyone wants you to think you're in the wrong, but you're not. Like, we are right in our beliefs. We're right in our principles. It's them who are wrong. My kids are about to throw some. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And just to let everybody know, we are workers, we are fathers, we are sons, we are daughters, we are no one higher than you. We aren't people that are more educated or anything like that. We're regular people, tired of it. You know what I mean? Adrian, if you got something to say too, this is the time. We're gonna be ending the show. I wanted to get everybody's final say. We're still missing Moth. Adrian, and when Vlad comes back.
Yeah, I just spoke.
Oh yeah.
I'm done, man. I'm about to fucking pass. Like I'm about to pass out over here. I've been fidgeting the whole fucking time. Like I'm so uncomfortable.
I mean, I'll talk real quick. I just want to throw a couple things out there because I know it's going to go up and be public, which is, when you see this, there's probably 100% chance that you're going to see it while you're on the internet. And if you're going to be on the internet and you see this, then more than likely, you're probably going to see some fundraisers or some type of mutual aid request, whether it be from Palestinians or anyone. Stop scrolling by them. Like, stop and read their stories, because everybody tells their story and it's real, and you should fucking care, I guess, is really what I want to say, is that you should do that. Because so I worked with a project called Gaza Funds. You can find it on Twitter at Gaza Funds or online at gazafunds.com. Um, the project was to bring attention to Palestinian fundraisers out of Gaza. Of course, the initial uh, function was to try to raise evacuation funds, but Rafah closing has been, or Rafah crossing has been closed for, um, I don't even know now, like
Months, 4 months.
6 months or something like that. I don't know. It's been
It's been a while.
closed.
It was before I went in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, it might have been
so
like that.
all these fundraisers now are mostly, they're still evacuation funds because there's still a possibility that the crossing could open, but they're also survival funds. Damien was talking about it earlier. Prices of produce are outrageous. Prices of meat, if you can find it, are insane. Really, all of it: milk, diapers, like anything you can think of. It's just outrageous. And most of these fundraisers that you see are for people that prior to October 8th were not functioning like this. They had regular lives. They were going to school, and they were having, they were with their families, and they were eating food and celebrating life, and just being just being. That's all, just being Palestinian in Gaza. And now they're online, like begging people who sometimes that I've seen, people like questioning their integrity or questioning their validity. So a friend of mine ended up putting together this project called Gaza Funds, and we had a collective group of people. I'd say probably at most we had around 30 people. A lot of people probably that you even know on Twitter if you're looking at it there, to like help vet the campaigns. And they eventually made it to a website that like updates daily for like the most stagnant campaign on the site. Right now, currently there's 600. The intent was that that would generate some kind of urgency and give people um, the sense of security that they need to donate to people online, which I guess makes sense, sort of. You know what I mean? But we're 11 months into a genocide, and like it's no secret what's happening in Gaza, and so we're still pretty much struggling. Most of those 600 accounts that are on that website right now are stagnant. I've gone through about 100 just in the last 2 days, and they're all like stagnant by not just a couple days, which is still pretty urgent, but like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. So all of those are very urgent. And Gaza Municipal, at Muni Gaza, that's also very urgent. That's an entire infrastructure fundraiser. It's water, it's life. So if you see that, do something.
Hey, can I ask you a question? How much have you raised so far, though?
I don't know. I don't know exactly. Last time that the group all met, then this was months ago. Um, I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot, but I don't recall the number.
Yeah. But thank you, though. Thank you for that,
But it
though.
was like it was a lot though, and I think that I spend most of my time online promoting fundraisers. That's pretty much. I mean, like we have two duties right now. One of those is to end the genocide by any means possible, and the other one is to support Palestinians in their struggle. And the best way to do that is to keep them alive.
Yeah.
And that's why these survival funds are so necessary. So, um, do that.
If we can figure out how to put a link, wherever it may be put up or wherever the fuck you put
Yeah,
it.
sure. Because there's some other accounts that are working groups that are working to try to put funds into Palestinians' hands so they can survive. I mean, you guys have all seen it. There's there's thousands and thousands of people looking for help, and there's thousands and thousands of people looking for help here too. I see them every day. People that are lacking housing, or they need money for their medical shit. Even Pale right here, you know. So that's part of the mutual aid thing that you guys were talking about. A lot of people say, you can, just passing the same $5 around, but it's been shown that when everybody pulls together to help somebody, nobody really suffers, and that person or that family or that or that unit, whatever it is, uh, still ends up better off because everybody came together to help. You know, you can't move mountains with a single person, but if you throw a million people out there, you can move it with your hands.
On that note, guys, we're gonna end the show. I love you guys. Thank you for coming on to the show. We're gonna be doing this at least once a week. I want to give a shout out to ATP Network for this opportunity. Give a shout out to all my boys, all my peoples and comrades and GNG, Garters and Guillotines. We'll be coming at you from our own channel soon too. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm gonna end this like I end every show that I've ever done on the original Comic Corner with "May the workers of the world unite." Good night.